Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. Today I wanted to share with you a fun fold. It's called a circle pop-up card. Now before we get started though, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Rita here at Rita's Paper Motif. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I like to share card and scrapbook page designs, 3D projects, and I like to share them with you in hopes that you'll create and you'll share your creations with those that matter in your life. So if you're watching here on Facebook, please consider following me. If you're watching here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that notification icon, then you'll be notified when I upload new content. So let's go ahead and get started. Also know that the home base is always at thepapermotif.com. That's my website and blog. You can also get to the online store there. So before I share that card with you, we're going to make it today. Just some quick new things. We all know that our brand new mini catalog is now alive and you can shop through it. If you don't have a physical copy, then rest assured you can go to Rita's Paper Motif or thepapermotif.com, and at the bottom of the home page you'll find an icon that shows you the image of the mini catalog. You can click that button below and it'll take you to the digital version of this catalog. Now we are working with some paper, designer series paper today. So this is the designer series paper that I'm going to be featuring today, and we are also using let me find that stamp set. We're also using the dies and stamp set from this. So same designer series paper and the stamp set and dies. So let's go ahead and get started. Also just remember that bonus days is going on now. And if you shop all through January, you're going to earn a $5 coupon for every $50 purchase. They'll email you, Stampin' Up! Will email you that coupon, and then in February you can redeem it. So you are definitely going to want to set up an account, and you are definitely going to want to opt in for messages from Stampin' Up! Or they can't email you. Also, if you don't create an account and you don't opt in for contact, then I can't contact you with any specials or gifts or anything. So just know that up front. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we wanted to create with you this pop-up card. It's called a circle pop-up card. And this part right here lifts up, this lifts down, and then you have your sentiment inside. So we're going to make this today. I'm going to begin by sharing with you what the materials and dimensions that you need for that card. You're going to need to have a piece of 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. You're going to rotate your cardstock on your trimmer or your simply scored, and you're going to score at 2 6 1/4. So you need that. You also need a little piece of designer series paper. Now I'm using that designer series paper, like I said, Made With Love designer series paper. You don't have to use that particular designer series paper. You can switch this out and use any that you want, but this is the designer series paper in that designer series package. So this is like side A, side B, side A, side B, and so on. And so it comes in a 12 by 12 pack. So I just cut it down so it's easier for me to use. When I'm experimenting and creating my cards, I can just see what those look like and use it a little more. It works for me. All right, so you need 1 3/4 by 4. You're also going to need to have a 4 by 4 piece, and then you'll need a 4 by 4 piece of basic white, and then a little 2x2 square. This is going to be for a circle you're going to cut. And then you need a 6x3. And now this is what you'll need to create the card. Also, you need some twine, and that's about 20 inches of twine. And so then also some stamps. So I'm going to share that with you as we go. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start, I'll just kind of move some of these away here so we can get started. So we're going to start with our card base, and we're going to want to get our bone folder. I recently been using my little Cricut tool. I don't know why, just a thing. But the bone, you'll definitely need a bone folder or a scoring tool, and that's just to get the score lines down. Our cardstock is substantial, which is a great thing, and so need something to reinforce those score lines. Okay, to begin with, we are going to go ahead and put on this designer series paper, and I'll tell you why in a minute. First of all, it is directional. Mine is directional. You don't have to use directional designer series paper, but mine is. So I'm going to take this 4x4. Now when your card folds, as you can see, when the card folds, so it folds like this. So the direction needs to be going up towards that shorter part. So I see that my little white flowers are going up this way. We're going to go ahead and put it on there just like that. I'm going to use some of my Stamp and Seal, but you can use any of your adhesive that you want. And again, I'm going to make sure it's facing upward. And I want to have a little bit of a margin all the way around. So that's what I'm doing right here. Now, I'll tell you why you want to do this first, because we're going to be cutting that circle and we want to have our designer series paper on there. So this will fold down with the card, so you want the direction to be going up as well, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that on there too. And I want to make sure I get enough adhesive so that it sticks, because we're going to be cutting through this. And I am just going to put it like this so I can get it as even as possible. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to cut a hole, a circle in here. So if you look at this card, you see that there's a circle that's die cut, right? Well, so we want to be careful with that, really careful. And we're going to fold this down, and then, so if we do that, we see there's the circle. So what I did was I took my Spotlight on Nature die. So here is a piece of basic white, and here is the die that I'm going to use. And this is just a template. So I'm going to fold this in half, so it doesn't matter if it's a scrap paper, right? Because you're not going to be using this. It's only for a template. And so I'm going to fold it in half. And I just want that fold line is what I'm wanting. And I'm going to move this out. I'm going to put this right on here, like this. Sorry, let's see here. Better to do it this way so I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. You want to make sure that you have at least, I want to say like, well, I just kind of put my finger there, but I would say that's 1/2 inch maybe. And you want the fold line on this template that we have right here to be aligned with the score line that you have on your card. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take a piece of whatever kind of tape that you use to secure your dies. You're going to want to take a piece of that tape making sure it didn't move on me. And you're just going to gently put that down there just so that the paper doesn't move. Then you would take your die. We're going to take that paper off, but you're going to put your die right over it. And you can feel when the die actually kind of clicks on there, so you'll know that it's on there. Okay, let's see, I need to feel it click again. There it is. And then I'm going to take this piece of tape. This is that Post-it tape. I used to use painter's tape because we had so much of it, but I've run out, so now I'm using this. So I want to take and lift this circle because we don't need it in there, and that's too much to cut. So you saw what I did, right? I just lifted it after I've got everything taped down. And then you would run this through your die cutting machine. Now I have already done that. So here it is right here, and we'll just proceed with that. So now we took that piece, remember I showed you that was 6 by 3. So I'm going to edit this a little bit. I would do 6 by 4 because if you use the same size of die that I used, because you see that it doesn't fit right. So a 6 by 4 would definitely work. If you want to use a smaller die than a 6 by 3. So then you could get, you would cut your circles out of some scrap piece. This is Flirty Flamingo, by the way. And so I didn't tell you that, and I'm sorry. So anyway, here is one that I've cut out. And I actually cut 2 out. And then out of that piece of white, do you remember I showed you this little piece of white? Then I took this little die and I cut out this circle. So this is going to fit on top of here as our sentiment. So let's go ahead and put this on. Now we want to put our card together just like that because we're going to be putting on this circle. And we want the circle to fit let's see, we want it to fit. I'll show you, and just this is how I did it. So we're just going to do it like this, right? So let's go ahead and put some adhesive right in here. So you just want to get that adhesive. Just don't get it on this part here, and you have to be a little bit careful because you can miss where it starts, okay? And so then I'm just going to do this again. And I like to put it this way because I don't want to see that Flirty Flamingo circle below here. Now this is going to fit in a normal size envelope, so there's no worries. So now when we take out that circle, you can see that it's adhered to this, right? But we also don't want to see this on the back, so we're going to take that extra one that you die cut, and if you look at these dies, you can see this is like the back side and this is like the front side. And that always happens with dies. So we're going to match this up just like that. I am going to switch to glue now, but we're going to go ahead and adhere this down to that other circle so that you have a pretty side. And we're going to match that circle up here. There we go. And now you have a pretty side, and with this glue, which is why I wanted to use the glue, is you have an opportunity to manipulate your circle, whereas I wouldn't have had that with the Stampin' Seal. It would have kind of torn the paper a little bit. All right, so now we see that we can put our circle in here. Let's see, it gets easier. All right, so there's that. And then we'll go ahead and work on this. And then we're going to work on the inside of our card as well. So this is where we're going to use that 4x4 right here. We're going to do some stamping. We're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, On this card, I put hugs and kisses on the inside, and I stamped a heart. So I'm going to do that on here too, but you really could, you know, whatever stamp set you want to use. I'm doing this for Valentine's Day. I'm going to put sending you as well. Now I'm using the Flirty Flamingo ink, but again, this is up to you what you want to use. So let me see here. So the first one was hugs and kisses. So we're just going to go ahead and going to stamp the inside here. And I do want to stamp before I adhere it, because if for any reason I don't like how I stamped it, then I can just flip it over and I don't have to cut a whole nother piece of paper or ruin my card. All right, and so you see when you open this one that I've already done, it's on the bottom here. So it's going to sit like this, and we want the hugs and kisses down here. So let's let me get a piece of paper to. I want to make sure that this is stamping, that I've got enough ink on it. There we go. So let's see, I want to get it right about, well, right about, I'm going to line it up with the grid on my glass mat here, and then we're just going to go ahead and stamp it. And this stamp comes from that same stamp set I was talking about earlier, which is the Endless Love stamp set. And we're also going to pull out, so here's the hugs and kisses. We're also going to pull out this stamp, which is like this stamp right here. And I want to put that, I want to stamp that heart right here by the hugs and kisses. So I'm just checking to make sure. See, I didn't get that on my, I didn't get my ink everywhere when I was tapping it. And that's because I'm not right down on it. So let's see if that, yep, okay. When we can't see right on top of things, sometimes it looks different when you got something in front of you than how it really is. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right here. So now our card has a little bit of decoration there on the inside, and that's going to go right here. Let's go ahead and stamp our little circle. Now this little circle that I had here says sending you, and so that's also a stamp here in the stamp set. Let's get that out. You could use any of the stamps that you want. These are just the ones that I chose. So let's see, sending you is what we're looking for. So here we go. I like to just lay it down for a little bit. It kind of will rest in case I might have tugged on it a little bit. Because they're polymer stamps, they are very pliable. So let's see here. So let's just go ahead and get it on here. And while I'm doing this, I wanted to remind you that now in 2026, I have a new thing going on here at Rita's Paper Motif, and that is once a month, I'm going to feature a kit, and I'm going to share it with you, and I'm calling that Let's Kit Together. So if you have the same kit, you're more than welcome to kit with me. All right, I want to get this straight. Okay, and so that is all. We'll put this away because I don't want to put my hand in it. All right, so there we go. So now we can put this right here on the inside. This is kind of a Doesn't take very long to do this, to make this card. And again, we want a little bit of a margin all the way around. I can tell I'm putting this on crooked here. Let's see. I have to measure up here because this is an optical illusion kind of. All right, so there we go with that. And then we're going to put this, we're going to glue this inside here too. But I think you could put dimensionals if you wanted to, but I think that because you're having it go in that circle, well, it doesn't matter. You could definitely put dimensionals on this if you wanted to. I'm just going to put it in the middle right here. And two things I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out my little container of hearts, and I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now, also I have that little 20 inches of twine, and I'm going to go ahead and make a bow. Now I'm going to make a double bow, which is why I say 20 inches, but you don't have to. You can make a single bow if you want. You could even use ribbon if you wanted to. The other thing you could do is punch 2 holes right here and run it straight through. So there's all kinds of possibilities. It's truly up to you. Sorry, I lost it. It's always a challenge to do bows on video. Okay, let's see here. There we go. So we'll just zhuzh it up a little. Then I do like the twine on here. This twine comes in a 3-pack. When I grabbed it, I wasn't sure at first that it was going to match, but it does. So there we go. All right, so now I'm going to trim the strings because we don't need them that long. So let's just go ahead and trim them. And I'm going to use a glue dot to adhere that to my card. Oop, I didn't get it. Well, I'm going to get it with my finger, and then I'm going to put it on my bow. I thought I had it, but okay. So we're going to put that right here under the sending you. And then I have cut out with the dies. So that stamp set comes in a bundle as well. So here are the dies. So I cut out some of the dies, some of the little hearts, and then I must have taken the other one out that I used that as well. But I also used another die set. It's from a very, very old, it's retired. But you could use any heart size you want. And I did use some of those. So I want to put this heart right here. And I'm going to get my take a pick tool. And I like to just go ahead and put the adhesive right here. Whoops, that's a bit much. And then just go ahead and do the dies. And I have little dies here too, so you can see they're little ones. And that's what you get when you use this die set. I guess I just put it up. When you use This die right here, you get little tiny dies. And then also there is another die set in here that I don't see right now. I'm not sure where I left it, but it does different sizes of the heart. So I don't know where I might have. Oh, I see it, it's over there. So you can, you know, get your, that's why we always put our stuff together, right? But I am finishing up reorganizing my craft room. So I can see it sitting over there on the table. Anyway, you take a pick tool and you can put different hearts on there, whatever ones that you cut out, whatever ones that you want to. So these are part of that designer series paper, so you always have you know, one side and then the other. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, I want a smaller one if I can find one. There's some really small ones. Here's a smaller one. Okay, let's see. Okay, so then I have those right here. And what else would I want to do? So you can decorate it any way you want. You're only limited by your own imagination. I did want to put, I was thinking I could put some more hearts just like this. So let's go ahead and stamp one. I do have some, I'm just going to use that piece for the circle that we would have die cut, but let's go ahead and stamp one in. Oh, I did go ahead and reach. Here's the die that makes the different little heart shapes, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in this folder so I don't lose it. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and cut this out. I mean, well, we are going to cut it out, but let's stamp it first. Okay, and you know, this piece that we cut out when we cut out the circle, that's garbage. So you're just going to have to, it's just how it is. I'm going to put this with some of that Flirty Flamingo, and put it on top because I'm going to be cutting this. I can cut these two out together and get 2 hearts, and so I can get the same effect as that. So let's just go ahead, or you can die cut them, but we'll just do this. And I was a teacher for many years, so I don't mind cutting things. So there's our Flirty Flamingo heart shape, and we're going to trim this down because we want it a little smaller, right? So I'm going to try and go closer to the edges. Again, you can use any solid cardstock and any DSP you want. With this DSP, there's so many different colors. The DSP coordinates with Flirty Flamingo. It coordinates with Real Red. And let's see what are some of the others. Poppy Parade, Real Red, Strawberry Slush, Bubble Bath. So you have a whole option of colors that you can use as far as cardstock. So I am going to go ahead and glue these together. And this one should be a bit smaller than the Poppy Parade. I'm going to trim it just a little more. I thought I had cut these out, but obviously not. I don't do a lot for Valentine's Day now, but when I was teaching, of course, the kids loved their Valentine's party. So we would do the whole celebration. So here we go. We're just going to adhere this to this. There's also, you might also, if you like punches, there was a punch that punched out hearts as well. So that is one that you could use. And now here's where you could use your dimensionals if you wanted to. You could definitely put this on dimensionals. You could use any shape you wanted to. You could use squares. Let's see here. So you could do that, and we'll bring that little bowl back out. See if we have some little stamps that we could, heart shapes that we could pick out. There's 1, 2. Okay. Let's see here. I like to just pick them up and then put the dot of glue . Okay, there we go. Whoops. We could also put some of these rhinestones. They look pretty on these, so we could do that as well. There you go. So, so here's our circle pop-up card. And again, you can adapt it to any shape that you want. And it does fit in a regular A2 size envelope. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this. And have a good weekend. Bye now.